Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the author, and you're joining me for a live edition of the Fast 15. As we normally do on Wednesdays, we take no more than 15 minutes to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from any of the books or audio books, provide a few announcements, and get you going on your day. As you know, when life is lifing, you might not be able to wait until the next day or the later on in the day to have a moment to pause and reboot. So it's not only a time for me to kind of slow down my pace, but hopefully it's a time for you and others. So of course you can stay connected with me here. You may go ahead and check out Linktree, linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. That way you can go ahead and connect on the social media, website information, updates on upcoming events, and the coffee information, the coffee collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, and more. So definitely thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to kind of pause and reboot with us. So before we get into our note for the day, just a couple of real quick things. As we know, you never know who's watching, and you never know if some of the people who are watching are really going through some challenging times. So if you or somebody you know is going through a life challenge, it could be health related, it could be just relationships in general with family, friends, loved ones. You're going through a high level of stress or things along those lines. Just letting you know that there are people that are concerned and there are people that care, contrary to what you might think. I'm not saying everybody does, but there are some who actually do. So, of course, take time that you need to kind of pause, reboot, do that hard reset. If you've got access to professional resources to help you out, please take advantage of those. If not, take advantage of those moving parts that will help you get through something, because we do want to see you get through something constructively versus destructively. So it's definitely a shout to anyone out there that's going through that type of thing. On the flip side, we know that there's some folks that are going through some positives. So if you got a new job, you got a new vehicle, you're going on that vacation, you've made some new friends, things along those lines. If there's something positive that's taking place with you, you definitely should take a moment to pause and celebrate it, because you know what you had to work through in order to get there. Just keep it in perspective, feed off the positive energy, and use that as a springboard for what's next. But of course, let's not forget our peers that might still be going through something, because all of us at some point in time are going to go through some type of hurdle, some type of challenge, and we just want to just be as ready as possible. So those are the words that we always try to use. So today's passage is coming from Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. And it's not necessarily one of the quotes or passages that I've used, but it's a statement from the afterwards. So I want to read it aloud and kind of give you a couple of things to think about. So here it goes. Words have power. Words have meaning. Again, words have power, words have meaning. Now, for those of you who are biblical scholars, there's a phrase or verse that says there's power in the tongue. And it's definitely, hey, prolific, how you doing? There's definitely power in words. And of course, you've heard this, we have to choose our words carefully. We have to think carefully. That is so true on so many levels. And I know all of us have been guilty of it, where we've been a little bit hot and bothered or upset and flown off at the mouth and said some things we didn't mean to say, or delivered, our conversation in a way that was unbecoming, and then we realized, hey, we needed to do it a little bit differently. But unfortunately, there are some that are just, I'll say, inherently reckless. So you can read between the lines on that. People that are always doing something destructive, people who are always, I'll say, misplaying things, and they're intentional with operating or making sure people are operating in a clouded space. So when I look at the opening statement of the afterword, words have power, words have meaning. Yeah, all of us have power to us. And it's not just power in a title, it's power in what we say, how we say it, the depth and detail, or the brevity. So we have to be as aware as possible of what we're saying and how we're delivering a message. And it doesn't mean that people aren't going to, disagree or what have you. But if this is just me, if there's an underlying acknowledgement of someone's humanity, then at least you're setting the groundwork to where you can agree to disagree, and it's like, where do we find common ground, instead of, well, if you don't do such and such, then blah 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 blah. And of course, some people who are making those types of statements are very they're ill-conceived, to say the least. So again, in the afterword, words have power, words have meaning. Think about the words that you use. All of us think about the words that we use. Think about the meaning that we're trying to deliver. And this is one of the concepts from Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. So definitely make sure to check it out. Okay, so now we've had our quote or topic for the day. A couple of quick announcements and updates on some things that are going on. This Saturday, June 14th, starting at 2 p.m., join me at Maracas Bar in Tucker, Georgia, located off of Britt Road. I'll be doing my next author's talk. So what will happen is, from about 2 to 2:30, give yourself time to get there. You and a friend, give yourself time to get there. Order a beverage and a bite from the bar. Make sure you purchase, your beverage and bite from the bar, and then go ahead and join us for our conversation. So right now we have DJ Shaolin from 93.9 Power Hits, who's going to be the moderator. So if there are any changes on the moderator end, we'll get those updated, but he's scheduled to moderate. So he'll go ahead and lead the conversation, and then afterwards we'll open it up to the audience. And then once we're done with the author's talk, go ahead and make sure to purchase your copy of any of the books. I'll have all 4 books available. For those of you that are coffee fans, the AuthorASnorton blend coffee, we will have limited bags of the decaf, light, medium, and bourbon infused roast, so make sure to check it out. And especially with it being the day before Father's Day, if you need to get that last minute gift, again, meet me at Maracas Bar in Tucker, Georgia this Saturday starting at 2 p.m. There should be other events on the horizon. I know I'm scheduled to do the Hunt For Foundation for their Juneteenth celebration on June 21st, but I'll just be honest, there may be some logistical things on my end, so I'm hoping to get that figured out. But shout out to the Hunt For Foundation. So for anyone in Central Illinois, Lincoln, Illinois, definitely make sure to check it out. I'll have a better idea if I'll be able to do it. I'm hoping to, but there's a chance I might not be able to, so I hope to get that cleared up this week. There should be some other events on the horizon coming up in June, July, August, so definitely stay tuned. Of course, shouts to our friends at Fonte's Coffee. So to enjoy a cup or bag of really good coffee, make sure to check them out. And of course, the AuthorASnorton blend is our collaborative brand with the decaf, light, medium, and bourbon infused. Shouts to our colleagues Heaven's Rain, as this coming Friday they have a great event which is a combination of Pilates and then a whiskey tasting. So that's an interesting mix. So if you're 21 and older, of course, but if you are someone who partakes of Pilates or want to find out more, and then of course enjoy the opportunity to partake from Greenwood, definitely want to make sure to check it out. And of course, a couple other things. So shouts to Female Football Zone, and again, shouts to Prolific for hopping on. Like I said, I periodically will go ahead and do this live instead of pre-recorded. So today seemed like a good day to do so. But of course, any of the people who are on live, I'm going to shout you out. Definitely make sure to check them out. See the creative stuff that they're doing, and lend support to what they're doing too. So as we get ready to kind of wind down on a couple of items, of course, thank you to every bookstore, book club, book festival, reader, everybody who's been supportive of me with, all the books and things along those lines. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you. To other entities and organizations that are just trying to do some positive things community-wise and otherwise, definitely thank you, and continue to keep pushing forward. We know that it's an interesting landscape that we're in. I know I use the word interesting, and some people might say something else, but the biggest thing I would say is check the validity and reliability of your sources. Have thoughtful conversations regarding what are things going on in your immediate community and beyond, and ask yourself, based on your level of understanding and based on your level of engagement, what can you do just to make things a little bit better and make it better for as many people as possible. There's a lot going on. We know there's a lot taking place. Some things have been out there for a while. Some things have been kind of last minute, but please take your time to do your due diligence and really don't be afraid to challenge, your thoughts or ideas, because there might be new information that's out there that makes you kind of think and kind of reconsider on a couple of items. Of course, with it being Father's Day weekend, shouts to all the dads. And if you're not a dad, but you're an uncle or grandfather or godfather, well, not like Godfather the movie, but or you're a man who takes on a positive role in the lives of our young people. Definitely shouts to each and every one of you. So again, Father's Day this coming Sunday, the 15th. So definitely make sure, just take time to celebrate and pause. I mean, those are definitely good things. Try to see if there's anything else on the horizon, but if so, I'll definitely make sure to update accordingly. Just want to say thank you to everybody who's taking time to like, share, repost, encourage, motivate, all that. Hopefully, whether I go live or it's pre-recorded, you're able to get at least some type of positive takeaway from our time. So as we get ready to close out, as you guys pretty much know, whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is a movement. I know sometimes I flip the order around, but you know the intent. Keep it victorious, keep it moving. Shouts again to Prolific. Keep on doing the great things you're doing professionally and otherwise. And shouts to Female Football Zone and the work that you're doing. So until next time, all of you, take very good care. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon.